Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Sign of the Times show. We thank you for allowing us to come into your homes, your place of business, or wherever you are, wherever you may be watching. If you're riding along in the car, just sitting at home, having a wonderful day, I want to say thank you for allowing us to join you on this beautiful what we call hump day, Wednesday. Whatever day it is, we do know that it's the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. In spite of the circumstances, in spite of everything that's going on around us, it is a blessing to still be here. And I want to personally thank you for tuning in to see what the Lord is saying to us by way of this unique opportunity that we've been giving to sit down and talk to you in a controlled, beautiful environment in which we will give you the signs of the times. We've been having some wonderful guests on with us through the weeks, and today is not going to be any different. Before we get started, I do want to take this opportunity to again tell you thank you for allowing me to spend this lunchtime hour with you. And I want to encourage you and challenge you throughout this broadcast. Hit the share button, type in names of people that you know will benefit from this. Not only that, I want to challenge you to type in your comments, your questions for our guests as we're going forward. I'm sure that my guest today will be very glad to field your questions that will make you better. We got something good planned for you today. Before we go any further, you know what I'm going to tell you. Make sure that you keep your mask on. If you have to go out, in public, cover yourself. Do it for yourself. Do it not only for yourself, but for others. Not only that, but make sure that you get your hand, I call it hand sanitizer, squirt yourself down, put it everywhere. I mean, just get it right. Make sure. Why do I want you to put a mask on? Why do I want you to have your hand sanitizer and your gloves on? Because we need you. Listen, my friends, I don't know about you, but it is so heartbreaking for me to go out into the public, to go to the store to grab something to eat and see so many people walking around as if this thing is not real. I don't know if you're like me or not, but I've had it hit home. I've had it hit, people that I know personally that have left this world because of this COVID-19. It is serious. And to see people walking around as if, it won't hit me. I'm immune to it. I could care less. I don't care. It is a terrible thing to see. It is hard. We got to get through this, but we got to get through this together. So find a mask. If you can't find a mask, make one. I know you're innovative enough to do it. Matter of fact, you can start your own little company now. Find something. YouTube how to make your mask. Put a filter in there. I saw one lady at the store, and I was wondering, we were waiting on them to bring the food out, and she was standing there with a mask on, and she was talking muffled, and she started laughing, an older lady, and she pulled her mask off, and she had a coffee filter behind it with the coffee grinds in it. I'm like, you having your coffee too? Listen, my friends, do what it takes to be healthy during this time. We've got a special guest lined up for you today. We're going to have a wonderful show today. There's a couple things I want to share with you. I want to thank you all for taking time to allow me to promote my newest endeavor while I was at home, my book, Son of Another Mother. It's dealing with the struggle of being adopted. I was adopted. But my question throughout life was, who am I? Am I in Austin? Am I a Bright? When I'm with my Austin family, when I'm with my Austin mother, I never talk about my mom, Florine. When I'm with Florine, I try not to talk about Catherine Austin. My question was, who do I owe my allegiance to? That young man on the cover of that book was me, growing up without an identity. Do I owe my allegiance to the mother that pushed me into life, or do I owe my allegiance to the mother that pushed me through life? Eventually, you'll find out at the end of the book who I owe my allegiance to. One of the chapters that I think we need to address is entitled, But Where Was the Man? Where are our fathers? During times like this, where are our fathers? That book is my heart, and you can find that book. You can locate that book today. You can go to Lulu, LULU.com, and you can order the book. Some of you have already ordered it. I've already seen where it's been ordered, and I want to thank you for supporting this endeavor going forward. Listen, my friends, this book is my heart, and I think that everyone that has a child that you either fostered or adopted, young people need to read this book going forward, because it's dealing with the struggle of being adopted. Let's handle a little business, and we're going to come right back, my friends. After we handle this business, we're going to come right back with our special guest of today. All right, my friends, for all of your beauty supply needs, for everything that you need, I want to challenge you to go to austinbeauty.com. Get your Brazilian hair. You guys need your beard oil to make your beard grow nice and smooth and fluffy like my clippers, eyelashes, anything that you need for beauty, your beauty needs. Go to Austin, ALSTON beauty.com, and we'll make sure that we take good care of you. Listen, my friends, there are some people in life that you meet and you don't know how long you've known them. I was trying to rack my brain to figure out when we actually met, and I can't. Only thing I know is that we met at a Teacher Academy workshop many years ago, and we just met. As a matter of fact, before I bring my guests on, I'll share this story. At the Teacher Academy workshop, we've been we at the end of the workshop, when the 4 or 5 days are up, they took us out to dinner on a chartered bus, and I remember sitting next to her on the bus, and we were just talking and we communicated. We hooked up, I don't know when it was, and we started working together in ministry, and we started really bonding. And so I had to get someone special on here today, and I want you all to hit the like button and help me welcome the sign of the time, my sister, my dear friend and sister, Minister Kim Richardson out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Welcome, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us on today. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and be with us today. And to all of your friends that are watching with us, I appreciate you. I appreciate you for your commitment to helping others.
Thank you, Bishop. We're glad to be here with you. And I'm going to have to agree with you. I'm not even sure how long we've known each other. I think it's ever since 2009, I believe so. We've known each other.
Yeah, it's been a while. Probably right. Probably around that time.
Yes, yes, it has been a while. But we knew immediately when I first met you, Bishop, I knew that you were a man of God. I knew that you were about something, but really what attracted me to you was that you just want word, that you were taking the word and you were breaking it down so we can use that thing practically. So it's not just Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. No, how does Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego apply to our life right now? So ever since that time, we've had that in common. I love the Lord.
Yeah.
He means everything to us. But how can we take how can we take the word of God right now and make it an
Right.
apropos word for
Right.
us?
And that's critical. So before I get into a question, because I was thinking about something in an area I want to talk to, tell us something about you. What are you actually doing? What's going on in your life?
Okay, thank the Lord, Bishop. I appreciate you even giving us this space. I am I'm a life coach. I'm an intensive life coach. Now, people say, don't know what that is. And I'm also an educational consultant, but let me explain to you what I mean. I am the proprietor of Padea Whole Life
Okay.
Incorporated. And what we do is provide a holistic approach of people in transitions. Now, you say, what you talking about, Minister Kim? You're going to have to make that a little bit more clear. Bishop, round about 10 years ago, I found the rug completely pulled out from under my feet.
Okay.
My father, who was pastor, associate pastor, died, and then I even suffered something personally from a 30-year marriage that ended for whatever reason. And for the first time in my life, I found myself what I deemed as truly alone. And what that meant was I was starting all over.
Hmm.
Everything that I knew, everything that I had relied on up to that time changed. So, what I had to do was, first of all, you put on your big girl pants
Hmm.
or your big, or your gentleman pants, put on your big boy pants, and you say to yourself, I've got these children. I'm a single mother now. What do I do now? So God had provided me with an avenue. I had my education. My parents made sure of that. And so I took my education and then I dug deep down inside and said, listen, I got to feed these kids and I got to feed these kids by any means necessary. Okay. So I worked my job and then I was in service one day and a bishop said to me, in order for you to, because my life was completely messed up. And like many women, their life mirrors how they feel emotionally
Hmm.
because we're very emotional creatures.
Hmm.
We understand that. So your life mirrors how you feel emotionally. And I was telling myself at the time, oh, I don't have my old props. How am I going to make it? But then I realized that in order for me to make it, I had to build on what I had. So I taken what I had and I created a business.
Hmm.
I needed a home, so I sold a home. All right, because intensive life coach meant I had a 2-bedroom home. I needed a home. The room was empty, so I took in a home and start helping somebody rebuild their life. I took in boarders. We helped them get a job. First thing we did was help them get a job.
Hmm.
Then we connected them to local resources.
Okay.
Then, once we got them connected to local resources, they start saving their money. Then we were able to, they eventually translated from that place of devastating transition into a home. So we're that home away from home. So I've been doing the same thing for the last 8 years. We'll help you anywhere from 1 month to the maximum of 90 days. But our goal is to get you strong enough to stand on your feet once again. And that's what Podea Whole Life does.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And I commend you. I'm not wearing one, but if I had one, I'd take my hat off to you and tell you thank you for helping. My first question, Lady Kim, Minister Kim, is this, and I was thinking about this. I hope my shirt doesn't offend you people in Charlotte and whoever's watching. You know, I'm an Eagle fan. I'm from Philly. I played golf yesterday.
It's okay. We forgive.
It's okay. All right. Still celebrating the championship from a few years ago.
you.
Um, I played golf yesterday and I was playing fairly well. I'm figuring out my game. I'm playing pretty well. I'm excited about it. And
Mhm.
then all of a sudden, I hit what could have been a bad shot that I needed to make a recovery shot from. And that's
Mhm.
the key word. It's called, I hit a recovery shot, which, I hit a bad shot, but it didn't mean that it was over. It meant that my next shot would have to make up for the one that I just hit.
Mhm.
So I'm about to approach the shot, and my golf partner is standing there, and he's watching me take this approach a recovery shot.
Mhm.
And I hit the most beautiful recovery shot. I mean, right to the flag almost goes in the hole. And as I walk up to just put it in about that close, he said to me, I noticed something as you were about to hit that shot. I said, what did I do? He said, you started talking to yourself.
Mhm.
He said, you started saying positive thought. And this is what I said. I got ready to hit that shot and I said, positive thoughts. Think positive. when I leave here, I'm going to find a cup of Starbucks. I'm going to eat some chicken wings. I'm on this Buffalo Wild Wings kick now. I got to get some wings and some coffee, and I'm going to relax, and I'm going to hit this shot positive. It doesn't matter if I hit it or not, right? I'm just going to calm down. And it allowed me to relax and hit it. And I took away from that positive thoughts and positive words can contribute to positive action. And I wanted to talk to you about that during these difficult times when, if you're not careful, everything you hear on the television, on social media is negative. Mm-hmm. Talk to us about the importance of positive thoughts and positive words from a life coach perspective.
Bishop, you absolutely changed your destiny by changing the narrative. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is change your words. When we both are ministers, we love the word of God. We got it. In the beginning was the word was with God, and the word was God. The same was the same in the beginning. And the word became flesh and dwelt among us. Mm-hmm. Listen, we were made like God. We have the ability to create our destiny by the words we are speaking to ourselves, by the words we allow to be spoken in our environment, and by the words that we say. You absolutely can change your life by the words you said, because that was the beginning of my healing, Bishop, was when I changed the words that I said. First thing I had to start saying to myself is, I believe in myself. Second thing I had to start saying to myself, Kim, you can do this. You can do this. Mm-hmm. And then I start surrounding myself with people who saw things the same way I did. Okay. Where it was not just negative words. Mm-hmm. Every day we infused ourselves with words that you can make it. I am prosperous. I am an overcomer. I am a problem solver. I am, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And you hear that key, I am, I am. But you feed yourself. And then, Bishop, one more thing is what's playing in your environment? Everything that we do is purposeful. And when I am working with my clients, or even when I'm working with myself, because this has become my life mantra, everything that I do is purposeful. Mm-hmm. Even when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do, I'm playing my prayers on favor. Lord, I speak to you about favor. I claim favor. I am blessed and highly favored. Doors open for me. There is no lack in my life. You understand what I'm saying? Right. Even messages that a bishop, everyone that claims to be a man of God or a woman of God, isn't necessarily giving you this grace infused, I can do it message. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Right.
You have to even be careful with the men and women of God that you even allow to play in your environment. When I am believing the Lord for a breakthrough, what you will hear in my environment is messages all about grace, all about open doors, all about God's transcendent economy, all about debt being forgiven. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Different, but see, this is what Jesus taught. He taught the kingdom of God. This is not something strange, but sometimes we get caught up in he said, she said, and the biggest accuser of ourselves is ourselves. I like what you said when you said your friends start hearing you say, I can make this shot. Right? Because the biggest voice that we hear, Bishop, is our own. Mm-hmm. And we have to change that narrative that's playing in our
ear. Right. Mm-hmm. That's good. How important, because I'm trying to do, I'm coming after you. I'm following you in the sense of trying to be a life coach and training for that. And one of the things that I think we have to do, how important, talk to us about the importance of goal setting in life. How important is it for us, especially during these times, because we've never faced these times before? How important is it for us to set personal goals, and what do we need to do to achieve or to accomplish those goals?
one thing I like that, I like that question, Bishop, because one thing I have realized that it doesn't matter. I'm like Paul now. It doesn't matter what circumstance I find myself in.
Hmm.
If you allow yourself to see the good out of everything, the Bible says that all things are working together for our good. So even in this environment, there are resources that's available to us.
All right.
Okay. Let's say you need food. You need a job. Oh, there's so many of us that's out of work now. Pay
Hmm.
attention to the resources that's available to you. For
Hmm.
example, they make, because so many of us are out of work, then the federal government had to, of course, set up where the COVID resources were available for those people unemployed.
Hmm.
Yeah, the DUA, that's what they call them, the disaster aid. But listen, I'm going to have to talk to you all now about these resources. You almost have to have a college degree to be able to get through the application
Right.
process of applying to these resources. So the resources are available, but don't stop at difficulty, okay? Don't take no for an answer. In North Carolina, they were inundated with unemployment applications. They did not have the structure to deal with the level of disaster that is going on right now. So I'm saying to you, friends, neighbors, countrymen, all of us, be patient with the process. The resources are available. Do you know it took me 3 weeks to apply for unemployment? That every morning it became my job to get on that phone, stay on hold, keep dialing back, and don't take no for an answer. If it is found in the Word of God that you should be blessed and highly favored, then that is what you stand fast on. And that means dialing that one number
Uh-huh.
that they hung up on,
Hmm.
getting, whatever it did. It took me a whole week to get through, but finally I got the supervisor that I needed to get. Finally, get up early in the morning, or late at night, or use creativity. But the resources are there. I'm telling you, the resources are there. You may have to answer. You may have to ask the question in 15 different ways, but do not stop until you get that answer that you're looking for.
Question for you, and I had to write it down because whenever I hear something good, I'm still listening, but I had to write this question down
Mhm.
because you said don't take no for an answer. Can we as people get used to no or used to being rejected?
Mm. Good point. Very good point. I could talk to you from an African American
Uh-huh.
standpoint,
Yes.
and that viewpoint would be interesting to say the least. When we woke up this morning, we all were inundated with the video coming out of,
Yeah.
I believe it was Missouri, where the young
Minneapolis.
Yeah, Minneapolis. There you go. Where the young man kept saying, "I can't breathe. I
Right.
can't breathe," and that in itself was horrific. We
Yeah.
were inundated last week with the situation that took place in Georgia, and it took 3 or 4 months for justice to even be looked at.
Right.
We didn't even talk about the outcome of the case,
Right.
but we're talking. So from an African American standpoint, anybody could say to us, "Oh, well, it's okay. You know what? You're African American, and you're a woman in America. You're a black man in America, and everybody does us wrong." I understand our challenges, but if it is, my mama always said to me, there's 150 ways to skin a cat. You better not take no for an answer. If you hear on the news or you read in the newspaper that these resources are available to you, it is not available to you because of the amount of melanin in your skin. Oh
Right.
no, oh no, oh no. You have to have a determination that if these resources are available to me, if it doesn't happen on Monday, then you try that thing again on Tuesday. If Tuesday isn't a day, then you run up on that thing on Wednesday. And after a while, you're going to come over a hump and you're going to get what you need. But don't let anything be an excuse for inactivity.
That's right.
Don't let anything, because Martin Luther King said, and I like this. He was my personal hero, because oftentimes we are put aside from something because we're afraid of what will happen. Well, great Aunt Minnie said, if you do this, then this is going to happen. Or, oftentimes we rely a lot on horror stories, and we let horror stories dictate our life. Okay, the fact that you talking to me about I was playing golf, really, Bishop? Okay,
Yeah.
are we there now? Oh, that's okay. But who said that you couldn't play golf? Who
Right.
said because you were 6'2" that the only ball that you could bounce was that basketball
Right. Right.
or that football?
Right.
Come on with the golf, Bishop, because on the golf course, it might be where you're going to make network with that
Right.
person who's going to be able to take your business to that next level. I'm
Right.
saying to everyone, you must not let the color of your skin, where you came from, any of these things, even the lack of knowledge. Oh yeah, a lot of us can say I got 57 degrees, but look, let me tell you something. COVID-19 don't care how many degrees you have.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
it looks like it is an equal opportunity, quick way to the other side. All right.
That's right.
So, in light of the fact that it's an equal opportunity, we live in the United States of America, and they have to make it equal opportunity, because if not, it's against the federal law. So, do not say to yourself, "Oh, well, black people, I ain't got no time for no black people." All right. I'm a bishop. I'm telling you, I'm not trying to offend anyone,
You.
but I'm saying to everyone, be determined in this atmosphere.
Mhm.
Take the resources and work them. If you don't know how to do it, then pick up the phone and ask someone.
Mhm.
In North Carolina, there is a number. Pick up the phone and call 211. You
Mhm.
will get someone on the phone that's going to say to you, what do you need? If you need food, they'll they'll connect you to who you need for food. If you need housing, they'll connect you to who you need to speak to for housing. If you need legal services, they'll connect you. I even called 211 because I said, listen, somebody who wrote up this application for unemployment need to be saved, or they need to be delivered, or they need something up in this piece. Okay. So I called 211 and I said, I need some help filling out this unemployment thing. They gave me some help. So that's what I'm saying to you. The resources are available. If it says that you can have it, God said, I would that you would prosper, even as your soul prospers. Your soul
Mhm.
is this. Your soul is this. It's
Right.
your mind,
Your
your
mind. Right.
and your emotions. That's what that is, your soul. So don't give up. I'm telling you, don't give up. There's resources available to you. Don't give up. Please don't.
How do we break through? You said it's that's something that I agree with, and if you studied anything, you know that the soul, from the word pseudo, or our thought process, or our mind have been trained for so long for failure, and
Mhm.
now I need to take the action steps to come out of it. I want to ask you a question, and I always, a lot of my guests, I pull out my little can here, can of worms. And when I pull out my can of worms, it means I'm going to ask a controversial question. And I warn my guests, because sometimes people don't want, I think I can't find guests because they're afraid to come on here and answer the controversial question, but people want to know this. So I'm going to open my can of worms and ask you this question.
Mhm.
Uh, as a life coach that is yet still a minister, and we both
Mhm.
love God, we both understand the scriptures, theologically, um, very theologically and in depth, and understand the scriptures. Here's my can of worms. During times like this, when we are faced up against so many challenges, can we be too spiritual to the point where we're missing life skills?
The answer to that is a resounding yes, yes, And oh, yes.
Okay.
Okay. One of my favorite evangelists, Susie Harvey, she said that we could be so heavenly bound that we're no earthly good. So, yes, I'm going to say that to you, Bishop. When you go to the grocery store, and let's say you have three children that you got to feed at the house,
Uh-huh.
you can go in there talking about, give us this day our daily bread. And listen, let me tell you something. They are going to send you home quick, and you're not going to have anything in your daily bread. Okay. So, yes, sir, there is such a thing as understanding what is appropriate when it is appropriate. The word of God is our foundation. Yes, it is.
Hmm.
It is the thing that tells me that I can call those things that be not just as though they are.
Hmm.
It is the thing that tells me that weeping may endure for a day, but weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. But when I get up in the morning, either I am putting myself to go to work,
Hmm.
or I'm calling 211 to find out where I am going to get that food from to feed my children. Or I'm calling my local minister, or I'm calling something. What I'm saying to you, saints of God and beloved, yes, find resources. Use the resources that is available to you, and don't be so proud that you can't ask somebody for help.
Hmm. So, what do we do in times like this? What do you, as a life coach, say to a person that's going through this situation in which they're not working, they're struggling? We don't know what's next. We really don't. From the church's side of it, we don't know what's next because I keep hearing from people saying, the prophet that's supposed to be the foreteller and foreteller can't tell us how we're coming out other than saying, we're going to make it through this. We're coming out of this. We
Yeah.
all know that. Well,
Mhm.
what do you say as a life coach to help me survive? Because I need to survive. And we talked about goal setting. We talked about resourcing. We talked about not saying no. What else is there? I'm not saying no. I understand my resources. Now, what I do when I'm in the house, because I'm trapped in the house, I can only go to the store. I can only go to the store. I can only go play golf. What do I do now?
Bishop, I'm going to answer this question the same way Martin Luther King answered this question years ago. He said, I have a dream.
Okay.
I have a dream that one day my four little children will be judged by not the color of their skin, but the content of their character.
Mhm.
Okay. So I'm a history teacher, so y'all work with me. That's why, we're the way we are. But the practical thing I'm saying to you is, first of all, let me answer that question with my own personal testimony. I'm
Mhm.
an educational coach for the last 5 years. That's what I've been doing. I worked with the sales team. We worked with 8th to 12th graders, and we traveled all over the United States, helping 8th to 12th graders get ready for college. And we were showing them how to do it and do it wisely, by putting a plan in place so you wouldn't be in debt. Okay, that sounds good. But March the 30th, they sent all of that home. Oh, they sent it all home. Everybody, I don't know, anywhere from 100 people who had never been without work found themselves all of a sudden out of work. But I'm going to tell you what I did. I lost my job in order to build a business. And I'm going back to the fact that I have a dream. I always had a dream to have a business. I'm today a whole life. I knew I was a life coach, but because I worked all the time, because when you travel all the time, that's very time intensive.
Mhm.
Okay, and by the time you get home, your brain is done. You don't even want to talk to nobody. It is what it is, right? So I always thought to myself, I have this business. I have the structure of this business. I even went as far as to fill out my LLC papers and everything. I've been even doing this business, but what I did, Bishop, was I lost a job to build a business. And what that means, I've been using this time to do things like identifying exactly what it is that I do,
Mhm.
um, using the free resources to build a business plan.
Okay.
Okay. I've been developing my digital footprint by building my website, so I'll have somewhere to tell the people to do. I've always wanted to be a trainer, so I'm extending my business by going into training.
Okay.
I'm I'm upgrading by not buying, using the. I finally got the unemployment. Oh, hallelujah! Oh, I just did a victory run in case anybody want to know what I just did. We finally did get that. Um, the You finally did get the resources that was available through unemployment Bishop. I don't need another big screen TV. So what am I doing? I'm going to take these resources. First of all, I'm going to get out of debt.
All
But
right.
then I don't need another big screen TV, but I'm going to go ahead and build an office at home. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So instead of just saying, oh, poor me, I lost my job, I'm going to take these resources and I'm going to restructure it. And I am going to start my own business or extend my own. There's many of you who have been wanting to write a book. Why didn't you write the book? Because I didn't have time to write a book. There's many of you who tinker, for example. You make jewelry. How about the people who are building a business now and making the designer mask, or I'm working with a company now called Oye, and what we did was take that same concept of helping children go to college, and we put it onto an online platform, and we're going to be offering workshops for children. And just keep your eye on my website. You will be seeing that. But we're going to be doing things. Even I myself, as I'm a retired school teacher, I'm going to be doing a nationwide training on discipline with dignity. That's what it's called.
Okay.
Because parents are having to become teachers at home. Now they're finally getting ready to see there's an art to what we did.
Yes, I did a victory lap.
There is an art. So I am going to be doing a nationwide training on discipline with dignity. And I'm going to take these 35 years of teaching classroom success management, and I'm going to boil it down in 40 minutes and let you know just exactly what is the strategies that you're going to need in order to build a situation at home where you can educate your child and not cut his or her throat. There is an art to what we do. Oh, that's what I'm saying to you. Take these cherries and make cherry pie.
All right. You said a key word that just now, strategies. We have
Mhm,
to have strategies. It's more than just having a dream, it's more than just having the goal, it's
mhm,
more than just thinking about we need strategies.
mhm.
And oftentimes, because of our upbringing, our environment, because of our circumstances, I know what I want to do, but I don't have the necessary. I know that there are resources, but I don't have the strategies. If I see that you mentioned earlier about needing, I believe, a doctorate degree to go through the forms for some of these resources. And personally, if I can, I'm going to get off in the left field and I'll come right back. I think that was intentional to stop me from getting it.
It is.
I probably get some emails on that, but I think it is intentional. If I set it up so that you can't access it, you make a phone call, and how many of us are going to be on the phone when the thing says your wait time is 3 hours? I made a phone call and said 3 hours. I immediately hung up because I'm not going to be on the phone 3 hours for any, not me.
Mhm,
I don't know about you. I'm not. We need strategies. I have on my Eagles shirt, and
mhm.
I know I have one supporter on here, my brother, my older brother Greg, who I'm so happy that he had to go through surgery last week, head surgery for an accident that he had, and we were in prayer, and God healed him in took him through the surgery, and he's on here, and I'm just so happy and proud of my big brother. I know he's proud of this that I'm wearing. I'm from Philly. And Denzel Washington and Tom Hanks starred in a movie, Philadelphia, in which Denzel asked one of his witnesses, explain it to me like I'm a 6-year-old. I want you, Minister Kim, to explain to us like I'm a 6-year-old, because we're talking about strategies. What is a life coach? Because I'm a football coach, but what is a life coach?
A life coach is someone that says to you, okay, so you've got a lot of ideas. Okay, so you've experienced hardship. Okay, so the rug has been pulled out from under your feet. Okay, so we're going through an environment right now that we have never, ever, not ever, Bishop. You and I are 50 something. Well, okay, there you go. There you go. All right. Okay. Okay. You are
Plus
what you think.
tax.
Listen, it
Plus
is.
tax. 37 plus tax.
That's what I say. But Bishop, a life coach says, okay, what is step number one?
Okay.
This is what you're doing. What is step number one? The first thing I'm saying to you when you're trying to start all over is change your life by changing the words that you speak. Okay. There is no such thing as I can't.
Mhm.
Okay. The Bible plainly tells you I can do all things. And you all can finish that. You know exactly where I'm going. But the first thing you have to say to yourself is, I can. Okay. And next thing you have to acknowledge, okay, first of all, I know that I can, but in my present circumstances, can I do it by myself?
Right.
Sometimes the answer is no. Okay. But just like you're at home, all of the people who know how to do what you need to do is at home as well. Okay.
Hmm.
So you acknowledge that first of all, I can. Second of all, you acknowledge the fact that I might need some help.
Hmm.
And once I find out that I need some help, then the next thing you're going to need to know is where are the resources? Okay. Once you establish the resources, then take a moment, breathe, and read the fine print. Listen, we live in a microwave environment. Bishop, you're not the only one that wouldn't have waited no 3 hours.
Right.
But I have been on hold. I have been on hold where it has taken me 8 hours to finally get to the person that I need to talk to. Okay.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna say to you, we're transforming our environment, but I'm gonna tell you to breathe and develop personal tolerance. The
Okay.
patience, the peace to know that God is going to supply your need, the peace to know that the Lord is your shepherd and you have no need of want. It just means that it may take longer than it takes to pop a bag of microwave popcorn
Right.
to get the resources that you need.
So are you saying that during this time, and we see the country, our state here in North Carolina and other, we're starting to open up. Should we have then, or is now the time to utilize this time to expose our inner gifts? To how do I find out what's in me? How do I find my purpose so that I could utilize it during this time?
Bishop, that is such a good question too, because like I said, 2011, the rug got pulled out from under my feet, and one thing that the Lord did for me is He created a time of healing for me
Hmm.
in the fact that I would find places of peace to just sit a minute and know what I want. Do you know that, when you're given a menu sometimes and there's 50,000 things on that menu, okay, it can be very overwhelming. But you were specially designed by the Lord. You were wonderfully and fearfully made. There are passions that He put in you Himself.
Mhm.
There were things that you were born to do.
Right.
And you can never, ever pursue a business, pursue a ministry, write a book. You can never, ever find anything until you find out who you really
Right.
are
Mhm.
and what exactly are you willing to not only start, but follow through with.
Right. Yeah, because we start things we don't finish.
A thousand things. And listen, I'm gonna have to speak up, for my sex. We start and oftentimes too, Bishop, we go with the voice that's screaming the loudest. Not necessarily what we want to do,
Okay.
but it's the voice that's screaming the loudest.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, so sometimes, the bill that gets paid is the one that, and they know that. And
Uh-huh.
how you said just a moment ago, how these forms are being made obscure
Mm.
on purpose, how these forms are they're not user friendly.
Right.
They are being made that way for to make it less overwhelming for the people who are actually working it. And
Mhm.
you can take advantage of the system, but my God, you've got to learn another language in this day and time.
Mhm.
And that language is called system ease
Okay.
or application ease,
Mhm.
or take a chill pill, Calgon, take me away
Uh-huh.
ease on this thing. But I am going to encourage you, um, just to don't take no for an answer. I don't take no for an answer. I was raised by a woman that doesn't take no for an answer. God bless her soul. Mother Page just doesn't take no for an answer. She said, okay, so you can't get out the front door? Go through the window.
That's right. Minister Kim, I have a comment that I want to deal with. I'm not going to hold you all day. I know you're busy. We've been on here quite a while, and I'm enjoying this, and I'm sure the viewers are. A Miss Deborah Horton said something that networking builds relationships and supports you also. If we
Mm,
can talk about that, because especially during these times of when I almost feel as though we're in an overlapping struggle. We're overlapping with this virus. And when you add to the virus those that are in the African American community, we're overlapping that. We're compounding that with racial tension, with what went on, whether it's in Georgia and other places in the country. I was just sharing with someone on the golf course yesterday about an experience that I had with racial profiling and my fear, because I have a driver's license, but I also have a concealed carry permit. And as a 6'2", 270-pound African American male riding around in a silver Mustang that looks like a almost a young man's car,
mm,
with my license saying that I potentially have a weapon in the car, if I'm stopped, I'm in trouble from the start.
mhm,
And
mhm,
my friend said that he was stopped, opened his registration box, his glove compartment, and forgot that he had his weapon in there, and it fell out on the floor. Now the officer's reaching for his. We're compounding the racial tension that we have with the police tension,
mhm.
because now we're afraid of police officers. And I have an off the record personal, it won't be aired, but I have an interview scheduled this afternoon with a friend of mine who is a police officer I've been knowing since childhood. And he's going to talk to me off the record about some things that he can't come on the record. He can't do a live show
Mhm.
because he's a police officer. My question is, what do we do from your perspective to kind of heal before we heal this tension? There's got to be something healed inside of us. What are your thoughts on what we're going through in our nation?
Bishop, it's tragic what's going on. The first thing that came to my mind as you began to talk is that a soft answer turneth away wrath.
Okay.
But then I'm also reminded about the statement you said that Sister Horton had put up, that the networking piece.
Mm-hmm.
Bishop, every one of us were made by God in the image of God, and every one of us are beloved of God.
Mm-hmm.
There is nobody in our lives that we at this point cannot afford to deal with them in kindness.
Mm-hmm.
Kindness is a powerful tool.
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it
The
is.
Bible says that Jesus was moved by compassion,
Mm-hmm.
and he sent forth his word to heal them. Words have power. That goes back to what we were saying.
Right.
Watch the words that you say. If that man who walks up to your car, he is a police officer, she is a police officer. You people, all of us need to know these people don't make more than $50,000 a year
Right.
unless they're a supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
So they're already approaching that car with a level of fear
Mm-hmm.
in them, not knowing what they may walk up on. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, Bishop, as men and women of God, that we really do need to teach our children not to pop off in their face. Yeah, you have the right to say it. But like we say oftentimes at school, sweetheart, you have the right to say it. Protect your tone. Check how you say it. A soft answer turneth away wrath.
Mm-hmm.
That had nothing to do with me being a punk. I gotta show him what I'm not gonna let her disrespect me. Come on, there's a time for all things. When that gentleman pulls you off to the side, it ain't your time to start telling him about his mama. Or you
Right.
know what?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, let's let wisdom right. And then God is gonna have to deal with the fact that people, I mean, we're inundated in an atmosphere
Mm-hmm.
where it's already divisive. It's starting from the top divisive.
Mm-hmm.
So either I can inundate myself and operate in the manufactured atmosphere of today, which is racist and divisive, or I can elevate myself to the point where I'm saying to myself that everything that I have need of will come to me,
That's
that
right.
all things are working together for my good, that I can call the be not just as though they were. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm using once again, this is my life mantra. My life mantra is change your destiny by changing your words.
Your words. I want to, in the couple minutes we have left, I want to share this statement that I started to post on social media, and I actually typed it and deleted it. Went back an hour later, typed it, deleted it, and I'm struggling with it. And I want to share it with you, and you give me the okay whether I need to type it. The quote that I want to type says this: just because I advocate for and love my race does not mean that I hate your race.
Bishop, that is true. Um, because what does the Bible say? Judgment begins in the house of the Lord, and the husbandman is the first partaker of the fruit. Bishop, I can never love you until I love myself.
Mm,
Okay?
right.
All right?
Good
I
point.
can never love. We have people who are racist against their own people. What
That's
in
true.
the world?
That's a whole nother show. Why that's true. Especially the African American community, because we never mind. Go ahead.
See, I just gave you that lean,
Yeah.
right? We leaned into that one. Bishop, I would post that with the understanding when people got upset with the term and it became very political, Black Lives Matter, and then they wanted to expand it and extend it and say all lives matter. Yeah, 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 they do. But there's a slant, and there's no use in you pretending like there is no slant. All of us can see.
Right.
All of us. But like this, yes, all lives matter. All lives matter. But honey, you better start with your own.
That's right.
Start with yourself.
Hmm.
Start with your family.
That's right.
Start with
That's
your
right.
community.
That's right.
And then let's flow out, but we have to start somewhere, okay? We have to start somewhere. And if we add value, because nobody, listen, when you walked into my mama's house, you took off your shoes, okay? Because
Okay.
take off your shoes. Now, that didn't mean that she didn't have no respect for the people's house across the street. It just meant that when you came in her house, you took off your shoes.
All right.
All right. So we got to start with something. We got to start with self love.
That's
Because if
right.
you don't love yourself, how can I expect you to love somebody else
That's
if
right.
you're valuing yourself?
That's right. Well, Minister Kim, we've been on here close to an hour, and I would like to give you an opportunity as a life coach, as a woman of God. I'm going to yield the floor to you as we prepare to transition out of here, so to speak, and I'll let you have an opportunity to speak to all of us, whatever it is that you feel that you need to say to inspire and encourage us even more than you've already done today.
Yes, I wanted to walk away with three takeaways. Okay. There's three takeaways that I really wanted you all to understand today. Number one, change your life or change your destiny by the words that you speak. You were created in the image of God. That means when you open your mouth and you say, "Let there be light," there will be light. That's all that God is. That is what we are in the world today. Don't be afraid to dream a dream and then set about the strategies to make your dream come true. Number one, I would say use your resources. Use what's available to you in this time. And if you don't know, ask somebody because somebody knows the answer to it. And finally, I want to leave you with don't take no for an answer. If the Bible says that you can have it, you can have it. If it's outlined somewhere that you can have it, you can have it. And then finally, build a daily bridge, a daily mantra. I say, I get some people call it a mantra. I am prosperous. I am capable. I can live my dreams. That monotony, that feeds your spirit and gives your spirit something to operate on. And that's what I'd like to build a bridge, build a daily bridge, and then you take that bridge and put it on your mirror so you can read those words every day, and say it until you see it. Say it until you see it. Say it. Say it until you see it. And that is what I want to share.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today, my friend. I've had a wonderful time. Time flies when you're having fun. This was unbelievable. And uh, we'll get you back on and we can go in another direction next time.
Yes, sir.
All
Yes.
right. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. All right, we want to thank Minister Kim Richardson for joining us today. And before we go, I do want to challenge you and share this thought with you today, my friends. I want to challenge you to help us to stay on, be able to come back and do this on a daily, regular basis. I want to want to thank those of you, first of all, that have been helping us stay on the air. I want to thank you for pouring into us. I want to thank you for supporting us financially to be able, this isn't a free avenue. It does cost. And so if you feel in your heart to help us to have this broadcast, the Cash App is scrolling across the screen. Go to $Eagle, no S, just Eagle Austin, and whatever amount that you feel led to do, whether it's $1, $5, whatever, You spell million Million if you want to do that. There's a little wink for you. Listen, help us stay. We want to, without your support, we will only be able to do 1 or 2 shows a week at a 30-minute block. We would have never gotten all of this valuable information in 30 minutes. We've been here close to an hour, and every minute was valuable to me. I gained something. I was gleaning from it. So if you can help us donate so that we can stay on, it will be greatly appreciated. Those that have been doing it, I appreciate it more than you will ever know. The 2 words thank you cannot express just how grateful I am that you helping me. You're not financing my new Jordans. You're not financing a trip. You're financing to help us come here and get valuable information through guests on. The other thing I want to challenge you to do is hit the share button. Share this broadcast, hit share, watch party it, do whatever you can. We're going to be airing it on YouTube before the day is up. Subscribe to David Austin YouTube and you'll see our guests coming on there. A lot of times we'll do a show on YouTube and then we'll do another show on Facebook. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to Sign of the Time. We're going to put it on there. I want to get this word out, not so that my face hits the world, but so that we can get this valuable information out to the world with guests such as Minister Kim Richardson. My guest tomorrow, we're going to stay in this vein tomorrow. My guest tomorrow will be Tanisha McCauley. She is a life coach in Atlanta, Georgia. She's going to be our guest on tomorrow. We're going to have a wonderful, and then as my bishop used to say, my God from on high. On Friday, we're having a special show. Right now, I have 2 of my 3 guests already lined up. We're going to have a panel discussion. We're going to have Apostle Stephen Gardner, who was with us last week from Phoenix, Arizona. We're going to have Apostle Ron Spears, who was with us last week. And we're going to get another guest, and we're going to have a panel discussion on Friday talking about religious racism. There's something going on in this country, and the one voice that you haven't really been hearing a lot of is the voice of the church. Where is the religious leaders? Some of them are sprinkling in, but we need to talk about these things. We don't need to hide it. We don't need to sweep it under the cover. We want to come on and talk about it. So Friday, I want you to join us. Tomorrow is going to be powerful as we're talking about practical issues. I've got plenty of scripture. I need someone to tell me how to make it. What do I do next? Minister Richardson drilled us. This was powerful. This was good to me. I don't know about you. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. But I really enjoyed our dialect, our conversation. I'm ready to come up with strategies. I'm ready to, as she said at the end, build a bridge or a mantra. I'm going to write it, hang it on the mirror. Every day I'm going to read my little quote, my little saying, come up with your own system, give you a quote of the day. As I said when the broadcast started, when you're on the golf course or wherever, that was powerful. We talked about that. There was a time growing up when I never dreamed that I would be playing golf, because I was under the stereotype that the only thing I could do was play football, baseball, or basketball. And now I find myself playing golf yesterday with a doctor out there on the golf course with people we can do it, but you have to change your mind. Listen, I'm going to say this, and I'm not going to hold you all day, but before you drive anywhere, you already go there in your mind. You already know it. Have you ever driven somewhere and then you gotten there and said, I don't even remember getting here? It's because your mind went there first and your body followed. Change your mind, change your way of thinking. And I'm telling you, it's going to be powerful. I want to thank you for spending this lunchtime with us. Share this video. I want to see the share button. I want to see you get this out there so that we can get Minister Kim Richardson's word out there into the world. Spread it all over, from Africa to Canada to California to Minnesota to Florida. Get this word out there. Before I go, I'm going to ask you the question that I ask you every day before we leave. When you go to bed tonight, before you crawl between the sheets and your comforter and you're laying there about to go to bed and go to sleep on this beautiful Wednesday, look in the mirror and ask yourself one question. Today, did I work toward my goals? Did I work toward my purpose? Or did I simply waste another day? Don't waste another day. Get busy, and we'll see you tomorrow. And I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.